Let's talk about the constructor. Constructor is a special method that automatically called when an object of a class is going to be created. So in this C++ programming, while we are going to be using a constructor, just you can remember one thing. While you are going to be defining a constructor, just you need to use a same of a class name what you are going to be using over here. So we will type it here how we are going to be using the constructor. So for that, just I'm going to be typing one small basic program, and then after that just you will get to know idea some of the how the constructor is going to be working. And then after that just we will discuss some of the types of the constructor as well. Now just we can create one constructor over here that I'm going to be creating class section, and here that I'm going to be creating using public accessifier. Now I'm just creating a constructor that it is going to be section with a class name only. So this is a what we can call it as a constructor. So we can call it as a default constructor as well, because we haven't passed any parameters over here. So we can call it as a default constructor as well. So inside this constructor just I am going to be printing cout. So now just we created a constructor. Now we will call by using the objects. So just I am going to be creating a main function. In under main function just I am going to be creating by using class name object obj. It's fine. Now just we are going to be returning anything. I'm not going to be doing anything, just we created an object. So while creating the object of a class, then it is going to be constructor is going to be calling. So let's see whether it's work or not. Here we haven't used here hash, so that's why we are getting as an error. So that's why just while you are going to be declaring any header file, just you need to be just careful, then otherwise you will get as an errors as well. So this is the constructor. So as you can observe here, after object of creation, just we haven't used we haven't called that constructor, okay, like what we did in member function. So while you are going to be creating a member function, just there is some kind of the difference, a little bit of difference while you are going to be creating a member function and a constructor. We will discuss now. So in the constructor, what are the statements that we are going to be passing inside the constructor? It is automatically calling when the object is going to be created. So for member function, it's not like that. When we are going to be creating a member function over here, like void display, in under display, that we are in function, we are going to be calling some statements. How we are going to be calling, just we are going to be creating objects, and then after creating objects, by using the objects we are going to be calling like obj.display, obj.function name. So like that it is going to be calling that statement. But constructor, it's not like that. Well, it is going to be automatically calling when the object is going to be object of a class is going to be created. This is some kind of the difference between the member functions and the constructor. So let's discuss some of the parameter constructor. So this is the default constructor, just you can take example. Now we will discuss one more thing, that it is a parameterized constructor. So parameter constructor, in this constructor we will pass some of the parameters, and then we will see how it is going to be working. So for now just I am going to be putting all these things in a comment box. So now just I am going to be typing one more time, that it would be first I am going to be using hash include, and then after that I am just taking the employee ID. So for this I am just using int ID, and then after that just while I am going to be taking the name, just I am going to be taking consider as a string data type. So that's why I am going to be using here string as well, string header file. So int employer ID, and then after that string name, just we discussed now. Now just we will create one constructor, that it is a employee. In this constructor just we are going to be passing the parameters inside of this constructor. So here I am just passing the values. So just we passed here 3 values variables. So now we will just assigning that variables into our original values like id, age and the name. So now just I am going to be using id, just I am assigning the a to id, and then after that age is equals to b, and then after that name equals to c. So this is how it is going to be working. So now just we can call int main function. In under main function, just we are going to be creating the, we just created the parameters, right? Now just we will call this one by using the objects. So for that just we are create one object by using the class name. So employee, and then after that we just create one object obj1, and then after that just you can call by using, just you can pass the values. Now only first you will pass the value that it is the int id. Now it's fine. Now you can create one more object. So same like this only, just you can pass the values according like this. So these are the just I called. Now just now what I am going to be doing, just I am going to be displaying these things. So for that here I am just using co. So same thing, just you can print these all the values one more again for getting the output for object 2. Now just we created this one. Now it's completed. Now you can compile this program. Here we got as an error. Why we are getting here int a and int b. Here we passed here string. So that's why it is going to be returning, because we declared here as a string, we passed here integer. So that's why we are going to be getting now. Okay, here we haven't used here public access file, so that's why we are getting as an error. If we can't use the public access file, so it default by consider it as a private, that we already discussed. So that's why I confused a little bit. Now you will get the output 127 Harish and 224 and this Suman. So in this way just we are going to be using here one of the type of the parameter is the constructor. Now just we will look upon that. Here we used the parameter constructor inside of the class. Now we will define the outside of the class. Just we will see how it is going to be working. After this class just I am going to be defining. So we just, you can remember, we need to use the class name employee, and then after that scope resolution, and then we can use here parameter is constructor control v, employee int a, int b and string c, then it's fine. So here after this declaration, before you are just, you can copy this one, we need to declare this constructor inside of the class, and then after that we need to be call over here, then only then it's going to be work, otherwise it will not work. Now you define this one int a and int b and then string c, it's fine. Now after that just you are going to be using scope resolution, and then after that you are going to be passing the elements over here. So now I think it's fine. Just we will wait 1 minute, we will check this one also. Now you can compile. Now it is going to be working as a fine, 127 and Harish as well. So in this way just you can use the constructor outside of the class, but before you are defining the outside of the class, just you need to remember one thing, just you need to be use over here at least inside of the class the parameterize, and then after that you can use the, by using scope resolution you can perform the operation outside of the class. In this way we are going to be using the default constructor and the parameters constructor. We will talk about the copy the constructor, how we are going to be using the copying the constructor. So first we will do, just we are going to be copying the constructor from by using objects as well, and for creating the constructor as well. So for that you need to be, first we need to declare hash include IO string, and then after that we will design one program. In that program we will discuss how we are going to be copy the constructor. This is the class name that I am going to be providing, and then after that here I am just declaring the data members that it would be private. In the private way I am just declaring here int a comma b public, and then after that just you need to be do copy constructor. After that just you can take here, just you can assign these values a1 b1 to ab. So for that a is equals to, I'm just assigning this value for a1 to a. Now just we use these terms. Now we will do the copy constructor for this part. So here just I can use the constructor name for copying the constructor, copy constructor, and then I'm going to be using const keyword. For you need to copy the constructor, just you need to be use const keyword, and then after that you need to be use your constructor name, and then after that you need to be use ampersand symbol as well. So here this is your copy constructor, and then here you can create any variable that I am going to be creating the variable just for passing the address of this one. Just you copied that constructor. Now what you can do, just you can assign the ab to by using that variable. So here I am just going to be using for a is equals to and b is equals to that address dot b. Yeah, now it's fine, just it is copied. Now you can display, you can use one more function. Just I'm going to be using void function name, and then after that here I'm going to be using cout. Now it's fine, just we displayed here. Now what you can do in main function, just you can create here one main function. In under main function just you can create the object, and then you can assign one object 1 to object 2, then it is going to be copied successfully. Just I'm going to be passing the two values, because we have passed here, we use two integers a1 b1, so that's why I'm going to be passing two values. Now just we will do, it's fine. Now just it is going to be copying the constructor from object 1 to we assign the object 2. Now it's fine. Now just we are going to be creating obj1 dot, we are going to be using the function name fun, and then after that what are the just you displayed over here. Now by using the object 2 I am going to be using that function, whether it's going to be copying or not, whether we can just call that function also. Whether it's copied or not we need to be confirmed. It's a copied one, it's a normal constructor that we are going to be calling. So just we will execute. Just you can put it here, this is the output for normal constructor. Now we can execute. We will get here 10 and 20 for the first time, and after that we will, it is going to be copied successfully, then we will get the output for the 10 and 20 next time. So just we will execute. So it's working fine, then no issues. This is a normal constructor for the output, this is the copied constructor output. So in this way we are going to be defining the copied constructor. Just you can, while you are defining the copying constructor, just you need to be careful while declaring the copy constructor. Just you need to be use here const keyword and the constructor name, and here you need to be use ampersand for addressing the value for that variable. So here it is going to be taking a is equal to variable dot a and b is equal to variable dot b. In this way it is going to be defining, and then after that just you need to be assigned from one object to the another object for creating the class name, and then you can call by using the copied constructor object, then it is going to be returns the output successfully. Destructor topic. So for the destructor, it works opposite to the constructor as well. So now it destructs the objects of a classes. Now without wasting any time, just we move to the program part, and then we will see how the destructor it is going to be look like. So it is same like we are going to be defining by using the same class name only we are going to be using, but we will use the tilde symbol in front of the class name. This is what we called as a destructor. So just we will create one destructor program, then you can understand. Employee as well. Now just we are going to be calling, just it is a constructor that I am going to be using. Cout. Now just we successfully completed this one. Now we will create one destructor as well. Here I am just doing, this is the tilde sign that we are going to be making it as a destructor. Now just you can use it in main function, and then you need to be create one object, then it's a fine, then we can run this one. It is a constructor and it's a constructor and it's a destructor. Now we will create one more object as well, employee obj1 obj2. Now just we will execute. So in this way it is going to be performing the destructor as well. So this is what we call how we are going to be using the destructor and how we need to be declare the destructor by using the tilde symbol. We will discuss about the static keyword. So we are going to be using that static keyword for data member and the member function. If static is going to be applied, then you cannot modify it throughout this program. Let's see how we can use the static keyword. So just we will do one program and then you can easily understand. Access fire. Now I am going to be using static keyword, and then just I am going to be declaring int a, and then we will use static, this is the static data member that we can call it as in, and then we will declare one more static member function as well. So for here I am just using int function, and then here just we will display int b. So now here just you can display the thing cout. So in this way just we are going to be using. Now just we can use one more, just we will call here in int base, and then resolution, just I am going to be taking that variable, and then just we can use it int a, that I am going to be using, assigning the value that is a 24. In outside of the class just I assign the value, just we will check it whether it's working or not, and then after that int main function, and then after that here we use it in the creating one object base obj. Just I created the object. Now we will see base, and then we can call this a function name that fun. We can pass the integer that I am going to be passing 4. Now we will return the cout. It's fine, everything is fine. Cout, and then we called obj.a, we passed here. Now we can run execute. So member function call, it's returned 24, and then it's returned static variable 24 only. As you can observe here, we passed the 4 value, then it went, and then it is remains the value is same, because here you can use it endl as well. So this is why it is going to be calling. We use the static keyword, then it is going to be value is fixed here, and then after that we change the value from the 4, but it has not been updated because you used here static. So this is the how it is going to be working. One time you can just member function call 24, and the static variable again it is only 24. This is the how the static keyword variable and the is going to be working for the data member and the member function.